Hey everyone, my name's Dan and welcome to Danalog. A couple weeks ago on this channel, I bought a iPhone case emulator off of Amazon for 20 bucks and it turned out to be pretty crappy and I ended up returning it. I had 20 bucks in returns from Amazon, so I thought, hey, I should buy something else, maybe to redeem the crappiness of that first one. So I found this, a small handheld emulator that has 400 NES games on it, and it was only 20 bucks. It was actually a little bit less than 20 bucks. Now this thing's available everywhere. There's like 9 different sellers on Amazon selling this exact same thing. It's just kind of cheap Chinese stuff, but I'm actually trying to find one of these emulators, these really cheap emulators that are kind of decent. Like I said in my last video, I want to have one to just throw around. Have something I don't really care about, but I can play Mario on the go, just maybe keep it in a go bag and just use it. So let's open this thing up and check it out and see if it's worth 20 bucks, which, I mean, as long as it plays a game, it should be worth 20 bucks, right? So let's try it out. So here it is, 400 game, 3-inch TFT, 8-bit classic. Got some shapes on here like a PlayStation controller for some reason. Little diagram. Digital game system, 3-inch super wide LCD. The console is slim, portable, and trendy. Wow, trendy. Yada, yada, yada. Just a little bit of a description on the system itself. Let's get this thing opened up. The packaging actually isn't too bad, especially for how cheap this thing was. Here we have the wire to hook it up to the TV, the charging cable, and an extra controller. In the original photo when I ordered this, it was like an NES clone controller. This is a Famicom controller, which is pretty cool. The buttons feel fine. You could take a listen to them here. So, you know, I love these poorly translated manuals. Maintenance doesn't say anything interesting here, but if you move down to special precautions, number 3, the factory before the battery power is not saturated. So when we get the goods, you need to charge more than 5 hours later use. Please keep the charge in 5 hours or so long. That is, man, I can't imagine what that meant to say, but here's the system itself. It's actually pretty nice. It has a nice texture to it. It's not heavy, but it's not as light and hollow as a lot of cheap little devices feel. The buttons actually feel okay. They all feel pretty consistent. On the back here, we have the battery port. Came with this lithium battery, so it's rechargeable. No need for a bunch of AA's. And then we turn it on. The screen looks pretty dang good. Nice and crisp. Let's take off that. Okay. All right. Well, those dang stickers never work. Let's just take off this screen protector here, which is always kind of satisfying. Let's get into some games. So it says 401 there, but I just want to feel how this thing plays right off the bat. So let's play some Mario Brothers. Screen looks pretty good. Mario looks a little smaller than usual. It seems like they stretch out a little bit. Oh, and I died right away. Just had to get used to it a little bit, I think. It's a little weird playing with a completely different D-pad after playing for an NES controller forever, but after a little bit of practice, I got it down and I was able to finish the first level of Mario. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. I just want to take a look at some of the games here. So we have Mario 1, Mario 14, which is kind of all the Marios in one. We had Contra there at the bottom, which is a 24 in one. So looks like there's more games than actually 400 on here, which is kind of cool. So you get all the essentials. Anything you'd want to play is probably on this thing. I looked through this whole list and saw almost every Nintendo game that I'm familiar with. So pretty excited about that. Towards the end of the list here, I saw this game called Strong Pill, which I just think is funny. Extra strength 8-bit goodness here. And I was just kind of curious, so I checked it out, and it's just this puzzle game that I absolutely don't understand and could not even get past the first level I played. So just thought that was an interesting one to try out, but it's kind of cool to have this and be able to try new things and try new games that you haven't heard of before. So looking through a little bit more here, and I saw it. There it is. It's Nuts Milk. I can't believe it. If you saw my last video, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. I finally found Nuts Milk. I found it. It's a real game. It's called Nuts and Milk, and it is terrible. I tried for a good 10 minutes to enjoy this game, or at least even beat the first level, and I just don't get it. It's horrible. It's terrible. Nuts Milk is bad. It's very bad. I don't like Nuts Milk at all. So after that, I just needed to cleanse my palate, so I booted up some Mario 3 on here. It runs smooth, it plays smooth, and I'm actually, again, pretty impressed with this thing. I just want to let you listen to a little bit of the audio coming from this little device itself, It's really pretty decent, especially compared to the last one that I bought for 20 bucks. That phone case one just had the worst audio ever. So just take a listen to this. So it's not tinny, it's not breaking up, it sounds pretty good, and I have it about half volume here, so it was really enjoyable to play my favorite game on this little handheld, and I'm really happy about it. The next thing I wanted to try out with this is the second controller that came with it and its ability to connect to a TV. So plugged it in to my old CRT here just to try it out. Got the yellow and red into the front. I have the 3.5mm jack into the top, and there you go, boots right up, looks pretty decent. I know just filming my CRT with my camera applies these scan lines and everything like that. Those aren't there, but as you can see, the colors are a little bit kind of washed out and it's a little bit blurry. And I'm gonna show you my real NES plugged into this now, but I just want to play with the second controller first. And as you can see, it's not that great. It feels hollow and the buttons only work about half the time. So here's my original Super Mario Brothers. I just thought I'd throw this in the NES to kind of compare, and immediately my real NES looked a lot more crisp. The colors were more vibrant, but I bought this little thing as a handheld, so I'm really not upset about it at all. If you want to go buy an NES and Super Mario Brothers, it's going to cost you way more than 20 bucks anyway, so what can you do? Looks okay. All right, so all in all, this thing's pretty decent. I mean, for $20, you really can't go wrong. Even if it only lasts me another couple weeks, I got some playtime out of it. I got some enjoyment out of it. I really think this thing's totally worth 20 bucks. I think this will be a great gift. You know, the holidays are coming up. If you have a child in your life that kind of enjoys retro or just you want to show them the games you grew up playing, this would be a great little gift. It's only 20 bucks, good little stocking stuffer, just so they can see what it's all about, what these 8-bit games are like. I mean, you have 400 games on here. They're bound to find something they enjoy. It's a great Tetris machine, if anything. So if you know anybody in your life, not just a kid, that would like a small, you know, little handheld emulator, maybe play those games I grew up with. Maybe they're not super into retro games like I am or like most of you watching are, but they just want to play some old games for 20 bucks. You can't go wrong with this thing. You can even hook it up to a TV. And like I said, if you are a retro gamer like me and you already have all this stuff, but you want to just have kind of a backup little machine to play some emulators on, this is great. There are a lot of really nice emulators out there, but they cost a lot of money. So for me, at least, I'm a little hesitant to kind of throw something around and bring it with me everywhere if I've spent a good amount of money on it. Like I'm looking to get an analog pocket, and that thing I'm going to treat really nicely because that's a couple $100. It's not just some little throw around thing. This would be a perfect maybe backup machine for your Switch. If you're traveling, you bring your Switch dies. You can just break this out and play some Mario, play some Tetris, play some Contra. It works well. The screen's surprisingly nice. For $20, it's an absolute steal, an absolute bargain, and I highly recommend this thing. No, I'm not affiliated with Amazon or any companies that sell this thing. I wish it was, but I'm not. So just my word for it, it's pretty sweet. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. The support on this channel has been unbelievable. You guys are great. I can't believe how quickly we're growing here, and I just can't wait to make more content for you. I do have a full-time job and stuff like that, so this is kind of a second job for me, and I'm treating it like that. So I'm really trying to get a video out at least every week for you all. Please subscribe if you like me, if you like the content here. Please like the video, helps out a lot, and I'll be seeing you soon.